Are we about to see a huge supply shock for XRP? Zach Rector. I have 2 clips of Zach talking about that exact point. We will also check to see how much XRP is still on markets and where we are going with this new ETF order. Let's just jump right in. DLT says, wake up. They're going to make the supply shock of all time. This is the reason Ripple hasn't let XRP into the finding price. Because banks can do some with ETFs, which makes the supply shock even stronger, the price will go through the roof. This is Zach checking in with the XRP supply shock, but it's moving very slowly. Not really, let's go. People are going to slowly but surely learn that there is a lot less XRP available for cross-border payments than they thought and were led to believe. When I say that Brad Goinghouse, CEO of Ripple, wants to take 14% of Swift's business, I mean that the XRP that is sitting in these ETFs can't be used for cross-border transfers or anywhere else that needs cash. What we're seeing now is a slow motion of the supply shock. Institutions don't care about retail because they're too busy worrying about today's price drop. In fact, they're making the most of this chance to buy a lot of XRP. The Bitwise XRP ETF went live today, which is its first day. This one has just under 26 million copies sold. Canary adds 17 million to the volume, taking the total volume for the day between the 2 XRP ETFs to $43 million. Chad Steingraber says that 3 million XRP will be bought for Canary and 8 million XRP will be bought for Bitwise. We are just beginning the party. The party has only just begun. He's really right. Don't forget that only 2 ETFs have been accepted so far. We'll have 6 or 7 here by the end of the month. The 24th should be a really big day on Monday. I want to share a happy birthday with my dad. Sunday is his birthday. He is the only reason I became interested in XRP. Over the last few days, he had a health scare, which is why I look so tired, but I want to wish him the best. I love him very much and am glad he is on his way home from the hospital. Okay, let's change things up a bit. What do you know about XRP supply shock? What other ideas are out there? Because I wanted to look around. What kinds of ideas are we talking about? XRP supply shock means that there is a chance that the easily accessible liquid supply of XRP could become very limited. If demand rises greatly, prices will rise quickly. This theory is getting more and more support from analysts, traders, and institutions that are paying more attention to ETF talks. So here are some of the main ideas about supply shock. One big story about ETFs and institutional accumulation is that institutional investors or new spot ETFs could buy up billions of XRP, putting the supply in cold storage and making it much harder for regular users to buy and sell. Some models show that even a 5% supply lockup could cause a huge supply squeeze, which could make prices go through the roof. Escrow and token burns are talked about. The way XRP works is different because of Ripple's trust. About 35 billion XRP are still locked up, released in steady monthly chunks of about 1 billion each month. We've seen about 70%, which means that 700 million tokens often relocked. That's mostly what you've seen. There are months when more was taken out than was locked up. About 80% of XRP was often relocked up in 2024. This means that a lot of it is locked up for 48 months. There are some community theories that say if you burn some of the escrow, say 20% of it, the quantity would go down. This is not likely to happen ever. Take a look. If you're a Ripple and you have 10 to 15 billion XRP, that's 20 to 20 billion XRP, which is about 20%. Are you just going to set fire to something? $40 billion? I get it. I don't think this is a good idea for Ripple, but maybe this is what the community wants. Also, some of the smartest people in the world work at Ripple. They're not just going to set it on fire. It's not just any old DeFi project where they need to burn all these tokens to get you to spend, right? They know how important it is to have enough XRP, and they have been good managers. That's right, those are good caretakers. Okay, real circulating and liquid source that works. Some analysts say that even though XRP officially has close to 100 billion in supply, there may not be more than 3 to 3.5 billion XRP available to buy at any given time. That's what we still see on markets. I keep seeing a number that looks like 3 billion. After a while of deflationary pressure and transaction fees, the XRP system will never charge transaction fees again. Listen up, the burn process will never come into play here unless the amount of XRP burned per transaction changes. That would make things a little off. I don't think you'll ever play a part here. If someone ever tells you that the XRP burn process will make us rich, you can slowly tell them that they are wrong. Let's look at the numbers now. Just show them how much XRP has been spent recently. 13 years, I believe it's about 14 million XRP out of 100 billion. Every transaction in the world would only use up about 30 to 40 million XRP per year if it were all run through the XRP system. That means the burn will never have enough of a burn for us to think of it as a way to make money. Just keep that in the back of your mind. Okay, so which of these ideas is more likely to be true? Plans for spot ETFs and institutional interest are moving from the realm of theory to the actual market. Several experts have warned that traditional models might not take into account how quickly the supply could be used up. It is important to note that ETFs and companies buy XRP from exchanges instead of directly from people. Since most XRP is not kept on exchanges, the effect on the liquid supply could be huge and happen quickly. All I do is talk about the burn and the monthly payment. We don't need to talk about that. I just wanted to let you know that Chad is back to check in. People will slowly but surely come to the realization that there is a lot less XRP available for cross-border purchases than they thought and were led to believe. This is what I mean when I say that Brad Gowinghouse, CEO of Ripple, wants to take 14% of Swift's business. The XRP that is sitting in these ETFs can't be used for international transfers or liquidity anywhere. What we're seeing now is a slow motion of the supply shock. Retailers aren't paying attention because the price is going down today. The organizations don't care at all. In fact, they're making the most of this chance to buy a lot of XRP. The Bitwise XRP ETF has been live for 1 day now, and it has already done just under 26 million lots. Canary adds 17 million to volume, making the total volume for the 2 XRP ETFs today $43 million. He said, Chad Steingraber, I believe those 2 clips are very similar. I didn't think they were exactly the same. There were some new things there. We could say he recorded it twice. What the heck? I am sorry. Holy smoke. This was put out by Chad Signholder. On the left, it talks about the month, the supply of XRP, the supply of billions of XRP, the relative decrease, the price rise, and the price that is expected for XRP. Okay, when you look at these numbers below, take a deep breath and know that they are very large. There would have to be a lot of crazy things going, right? You would need people to always want to buy XRP. The price should stay the same until it changes. I mean, there are just so many things in this that don't make sense in real life. Please take a deep breath. But listen, if there aren't any more XRP on exchanges, say 100 million or 50 million, and no one wants to sell, the price will go through the roof. Yes, that's because your market cap multiple for new money would be in the thousands by then, right? Because there isn't any left compared to the $65 billion worth of XRP that is already in circulation. The numbers could get really crazy, but just know that for this to happen the way it is, some crazy things would have to happen. It doesn't matter how long it takes, a month, a year, or 5 years. I'm just along for the ride. Man, I hope it doesn't take 10 years. But listen, I really believe that most of this will be over by 2030. I kind of made a promise to myself to do that. So I'm going to keep getting up every day, learning new things and sharing what I've learned with you. We're going to get through this together. I can't wait. After that, we'll have one of the biggest parties ever. People who own XRP know how to do it. Everyone is welcome, right? XRP supply shock. Plan for the long run. My theory on the lack of XRP, with about 18 XRP ETFs still in the works. Every day, they all put in $50 million. A lack of XRP would make it hard to get. In 6 to 9 months, there won't be much to offer. Price can only go up. Then here is some more information. Bitwise took in 53 million XRP on the first day. A lot of XRP is going to these institutions to pay these ETFs in the beginning. 7-spot XRP ETFs will be on my radar by the end of the week. It will get too much to keep track of at some point. I'll do my best. The goal is to figure out the amount and project it out to see the bigger picture. Chad, thanks a lot. Make sure you're on Chad's side here. He does a lot of good things for the community, and I respect him so much. Okay, following is the plan, since you most likely want to know that next. Know that this is how it all works. October, 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 and then November. This plan looks like it's from a long time ago, though. Do you know what it is? That's really bad, guys. I am sorry. I should have brought something more with me. I couldn't think of anything when my sister called to tell me about my dad. I'm sorry. Franklin Templeton and a few other things should be launched here on the 24th in a few days. This weekend, a lot of things should happen. I will keep you fully informed. To change the subject, there are still 2 hours left in the day for Canary. And it looks like there's a total of $26 million for today. It's still worth almost $30 million to buy these 2 ETFs, even though the market has been going down. When you put on the rest of them, we might be getting somewhere. Brad Garlinghouse, Tom Lee, and Jeremy Allaire are now here. This is from about a month ago, but I wanted to play it again and give you a little more value from the movie. And Bitcoin is the best hard asset of all time. Any mix of Bitcoin and gold will protect your savings from this harmful debasement. That's happening with all of the coins in the whole country. Get everyone to agree on what crypto is. Even in this conversation, and I agree that it's still early, there isn't a single agreed upon view on all of these issues. And I believe some of the use cases were still very new when it came to big use cases. Circle is one example of a stablecoin that has started to be used in a larger way. Of course, I agree that the next 16 years will be better for the crypto business than the last 16 years. This is because new uses will start to appear that were only talked about or speculated about before. I just found out that the prince is coming, so I think we should end this talk already. Because this was so crazy, they all flew out to talk about it. This talk went on for 12 minutes straight. The prince is coming, so they need to end it. I was really excited about this. Brad Garleyhouse, Jeremy Allaire, some early Bitcoin investors who are now billionaires, and Tom Lee are all here on stage. It's too bad that this talk was cut short. It was going to be one of the best of the year. Okay, guys, I'll leave it at that. I just wanted to talk briefly about supply and some of the ideas behind it. What do you think will happen in the following months? Are we going up and away? Is it kind of a show to sell news? I would like to know more about where you are. For myself, I'm not selling my XRP for anything. If the price drops to 175 or 150, I will think that God or a higher power is telling me to buy more XRP. For me, this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance, and I will invest all of my extra money in XRP. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you soon. Hello, my name is